Hello, my name is Harry Tumbuatco. We're back. The topic, our morals, our values. At this second part of the show, we would like to tackle the solution to corruption, assuming there is one. And with us, of course, we have Professor Jerry Manlangit. He's also an expert on ethics, of course, a Catholic priest, and he's been here with us. Who better to talk to when it comes to morals and values when we talk about education, the academe, and the church being right there as we're growing up. So, Father, meron ba tayong solution? So, it's the school. We've identified that's where the disconnect started and where corruption towards the age of maturity set in. That has become endemic in our society today.
Right.
So, the schools in the last 40, 50 years have failed us. The church to a certain extent because the disconnect was not chained on properly.
Yeah.
Nagkalas-kalasan. Nawala ang morals. Kumbaga, nakalas yung mga, di ba, the binds.
The materials were there, the spare parts were there.
Yes, they were all there.
But putting everything in its place did not push through or did not materialize.
Hindi nagdikit-dikit.
Hindi
nagsynthesize.
Properly. That's right.
Hindi nagsynthesize.
That it did not act in a way that it was harmonious, etc., etc. So it does not act integrally or as a whole, but as if though every part is a different part from each other.
And yet, we have retained certain good characters, certain characteristics, which I only find in Filipinos. Come eating time, kain na po kayo. Even if kukunti lang, I will share it with you.
Right.
And that works more with the poor than with the rich. It's the other way around. It works even with the less educated than those who have PhDs. Di ba? Parang baliktad. Kasi sa probinsya, doon ko nakikita yan eh.
In the province, yes. Certainly very, very true.
It's so strong eh. Boss, sir, kain na po kayo. Pare, konti lang yan eh. Hindi, okay sa atin lahat yan, kasya yan.
Kasya yan.
Believe ako eh. I mean, where do you find hospitable? They will share even their beds, their houses. I've never seen that anywhere around the world.
Not as much.
I don't see it. I don't see it with the Americans. I don't see it in Europe.
No, with the Americans, no.
Wala.
They're more independent, and when you are a visitor, well, you go there for a limited period of time. In fact, they're going to ask you how long you're going to be here, because you become a nuisance.
I remember my foster family when I was an exchange student. The first time a friend came down to the house, we were eating steak. Yung steak namin, isa-isang steak. Hindi naman masyado malaki.
Right,
yun ang dinner tsaka isang potato.
Right.
Pagdating yung kaibigan ko, sinabihan ng foster father ko, you wait there in the corner until Harry's finished eating. Nabastusan ako. Sabi ko, we don't do this in our country.
Yeah, right.
In America, you finish your dinner, then you can go talk to your friend.
Right.
Wow, sabi ko. May discipline din naman yun. Pero para sa atin, tayo, no matter how hard life is, you see, I remember an Arab telling me this in one of my clubs. I remember we were looking down the window and said, you see that guy that's pushing that cart? He's got a kid inside it, the poor man.
Right.
Look at him. He's smiling.
Right.
Look at him, he's smiling.
Right.
Why is he smiling? He's so dirt poor.
And yet he's smiling.
He's
still
smiling.
happy.
So we have certain things that make us different and a nice country and nice people. And yet, corruption is everywhere. How do we correct that, Father? Balik tayo sa school.
You know, they say that the purpose of life is a life with a purpose.
Loko mo ako, baliktad lang yun.
That's right. It's a life with a purpose.
Yes,
okay,
yes,
now,
I agree.
Now, when you embark on something, you must be very clear about what you want to accomplish, what you want to do.
Yes,
Otherwise, you
direction.
will be there. Yes. Always, you will be there, probably asking yourself every day why you are there. You become senseless, and you become meaningless. And you probably are going to ask yourself, who am I? Why am I here?
What am I doing here? Yeah.
What am I doing here?
Correct.
Let's say you enter, for example, politics. Are you really sure that in fact you are very clear about your purpose?
I was when I entered,
Yeah.
and I was rejected by the people of Muntinlupa.
Okay.
Maliwanag sa akin sa utak ko yun.
That's right. Everybody wants to serve.
I wanted to
It's
serve.
always
I was not
in
allowed.
the campaign, everybody wants to serve.
Promises
you're
are
going,
made.
yes, promises are made, and very good promises. I will serve. Who will not believe in you and who will not vote for you? I want to serve. I am here available.
Yan.
Why not me?
Why
Look.
not me?
Okay.
Ako magaling.
Okay. When they are elected, it becomes an irony that you want rather to be served rather than to serve.
Bumaliktad.
That is dumabaliktad. And that's precisely the problem here. Many of our politicians want to sit just there and then
be
let
served.
people be, serve them. Not actually serving them by doing good legislations, studying legislations, doing this and doing that for the benefit and well-being of the people.
Correct.
That easily disappears when he's already in the office. That easily disappears. Indicator, look at our society. Look at our legislations.
Ganon din.
Okay. There are people who are there supposed to legislate. Are they really legislating and studying and doing this passionately? They're only giving them to their lawyers.
They're serving
Okay.
themselves.
To
So,
serve them.
that's rooted to no morals or poor morals and poor values.
Poor values,
Kasi
no
kung may
clear,
values
no
ka-
clear vision, and no clear purpose. Why is
Ayun,
there?
No clear purpose.
The only way they want to be there is because people idolize them. We want to be idolized. They want to have power. We want to have power because we want, if we have power, we can just, for example, order someone to do this and to do that. And they do it.
Authority, yeah.
Authority.
Abuse, yeah.
We want to have money. Obviously. Obviously, we want to have money. If we have money, we can let the world go around, round and round and round.
You're in control, kumbaga.
Yes, if you have money, you're having control. You want to be famous.
Ego.
So wherever you are,
Ego.
Oh, yeah, feeding on the ego. Wrong purpose of why he is there.
That goes back to loose values.
Lose values,
Loose values.
lose
Very loose.
purpose, lose no direction,
No
nothing.
direction.
Only one's personal interest. You just adore me, you just idolize me, I am here.
Well, we've identified that is wrong.
Of course.
Yes,
Of
we've
course.
identified that is the sure and best way of getting to be corrupted, and it's not sustainable.
It is not
It's
sustainable.
not sustainable. It can't be. It's wrong. So it can't be sustainable.
It's wrong. But you see, it seems like, well, the society has never learned.
Yes.
The society has never learned, in spite of the fact that they are corrupt, in spite of the fact that, well, when they came into the politics, they had only a very small house, and then they
Palasyo na.
have palaces, palace here, vacation house
Kulang
there,
pa.
vacation house there, and a host of other things like cars, etc.
Yeah, yeah.
Where did they get all of this?
Yeah.
Where before they had none.
Corruption.
Corruption.
How do we correct that? We go back to the school. You told me earlier before the show that there is no shortcut.
There is no-
And like a cancer that grew over decades, it will also take decades.
Yes.
If you're talking education, you're talking the first 20 years.
Yes.
So 20 years?
20
You mean we
years.
will not see the end of corruption for another 20 years?
Yes, but if you're not going to start, there is no way that we will be able.
So there is no solution. It's
There-
just a matter of when you're going to start
Yes.
to teach properly.
Yes.
Yun lang ang solusyon.
Yung solution, you have to start somewhere. It's the same kind of traffic. When are you going to start with the street and with the second
Skyway,
level,
whatever,
skyway,
yeah.
etc.? Where are you going to start?
If you don't plan, begin
If you don't
now.
plan, begin now. Even if it takes 2 decades, 3
Yeah, so
decades,
what?
so what? At least we started. At least we have something to look into the
May-
future.
That's what
There
you meant.
is.
May purpose.
There is a purpose. There is a target.
So, fighting corruption, if it goes back 20 years, and we have not identified how to correct the system of education, we have not even begun.
We have not even begun.
Oh my God, we're in trouble, Father.
We are in trouble, of course. You may say that I'm pessimistic. Probably I am. And I should say so. I should say so. I am. Because we have not even started yet.
Ano yung may hina ang mga leader natin, di nila ma-identify, or they're not paying attention, or they're waiting to be served rather than serving.
It's a mixture of all this. It's a mixture of all this. That is why if we have to become a first developed, or rather a developed country,
Dun
we have
muna
to
tayo
start,
mag-aral ulit.
we go to the basic, etc. As a matter of fact, there was even an article that was written, I think some 5 days ago, that is saying, the title is, "We Can Never Be First World Country." Why? We do not even know how to dispose of our garbage. Very simple. We do not even know how to dispose of our garbage.
My God, so true.
Because the street,
It's so true. It's littered with
yeah,
garbage.
it's littered with garbage, and they turn the streets as a big garbage bin. So if we can't even do that, how
Pero
else?
that's not just education, ano? Ano rin yan, ano? Talagang values embedded when you're a kid. So balik na naman tayo
Balik
doon.
tayo. But we have to start. We have to start. Otherwise, we will
Are
never...
there theories our country can follow if there is a lack of innovation or intuition? Or don't we have Filipino leaders that can start and correct the academic approach?
There are, but they are
Not allowed.
unable. They are not able to sustain it. We are good at the start,
Nas nabibitawan.
first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Afterwards,
Bitaw na.
bitaw na.
Hindi pwede. Dapat continuous yung first
Precisely.
hanggang university life.
Yes. So that when they get out of the university, we expect that they are armed not only with knowledge, but also the
Correct.
character.
Armed is the right word.
Yes.
Armed.
Oh, if you are armed,
Kasi
there's
kung,
no way we're going to lose. There's
so kung
no way
konti lang education mo, nabitawan ka, hindi pa na-form yung
you
morals
become
mo.
a liability to the society.
Baliktad. You become moral liability.
Liability ka. That is why, education is the first priority in all developed countries, first priority, and that's why even in their budget, GDP or national budget,
Pinakamataas eh.
yes,
But today, it's our highest budget for 2018, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
It's the highest.
is the highest.
But
which before, 5 years ago,
was the very, very
was
low.
number 2, number 3.
Not even, I think it was much less.
And-
Kasi by law, it's supposed to be 2% or 4% of the
But it
GDP,
is
but it's
noteworthy
not. Yeah.
that while they make education as a priority, health is not too far behind.
Oo, health, no? Kasi
It's almost
malnutrition
Yes.
cannot help develop the mind.
right. That is why these two are supposed to be first or second or first. In Singapore, it's that. Canada is that's
Same, yeah,
the
yeah.
same.
Health.
Yeah.
But then the socialized, ang approach nila, socialized. Sa atin, hindi. Baliktad. We don't have a socialized health system, medical system. Our
Right.
taxes are reduced. Sa kanila, mataas nga ang buwis, pero na-address lahat yan. Dito, hindi, mataas na rin ang buwis natin. No?
There's so much flow in our services. So much. Education, health,
But
and
we can
other
only
services.
rely on the kids who are starting grade 1 today, 20 years today, when they come out. Hopefully, they will have better roots. They're grounded better with proper values. And when they lead and legislate, then can you only improve the country towards the better.
Better, yes. We have to start somewhere, somehow. If we're not going to start now, even if we put all the money into education, everything, but if we don't start,
But
we are just putting money
how about the
into a hole.
quality of our educators? Do we have that or need we outsource it?
Kulang pa.
Kulang.
Still lacking, still
So
incomplete.
educating our educators.
I think we have even to start with that.
First, we educate, because if we don't educate them, ganun na naman, umpisa, wala rin mangyayari.
The same thing. The same thing. For example, with our new DepEd or K11, K-12,
Well, K-12 is nothing but an extension. They didn't
Yes.
prepare on the IRR
they're
or
not
anything.
even trained.
They're not even trained.
So many of them are not trained.
Pinilit lang eh.
So what's going to happen? We are just going to extend the school year for the children.
Kawawa
But
lang
we are
mga
not
parents,
actually offering really
better.
quality
Wala pa.
education.
Ang content kinulang.
Kinulang.
Pinasok lang, pinilit lang ng yellow government yan eh, na walang
That's
pag-aaral.
why, that's why I don't know what's going to happen.
So, if the president today is serious about addressing corruption, you have to be patient and be basically just reactive in going after those that can be caught by being corrupt.
Right.
But if you want to correct the system, you go back to educating
back.
our educators.
Yes.
Then umpisa. And
Right.
then you may not live for the next 20 years to see it, but that's the only way, correct?
That's the only way, because once you have sown the seed and it grows, sustained, maintained, it's going to be strong. You're going to have a strong citizenry, full of knowledge and full of character. Two of them.
Tama ka, because whether we like it or not, it is not a matter if we're going to do it. It's only a matter of when,
Yes.
because you're going to do it eventually.
Yes.
So we might as well start now.
Well, start
Kasi
now.
ganun din yun eh.
The same thing. As I've told you, with the analogy of, well, if you have to start, for example, trying to solve the traffic, start now. Put
Start
more high skyway, put this and put that, or
yeah.
dilute, or rather put new cities. Dilute the population in this particular
Yes,
area,
put more cities. Spread it out.
spread it out.
Yes.
All the services are there.
Iba-iba.
All the merchandise are there in these new cities.
right now,
you
there-
will be diluting the population, and you are also going to lessen the traffic. Start now.
So
When?
even government, move government out of the city.
Yes.
Because 30-40% of commerce is with government.
That has always been my advocacy,
Relocate.
even in
Yeah,
my
yeah.
even in my classes.
Move them out.
Move out, and the
Tama
only
yan,
way
ano?
by which they can move out, establish new cities. That was done in Europe. That's why in Europe you have old city, new city.
Yeah,
Yes,
But that's also good because that will generate more commerce.
of course. When there is
And
movement,
cheaper housing and more
Yes.
availability.
when there is movement, people go from one place to another.
Agree.
And that is precisely why the nature of money is.
Movement.
Why
Oh,
money?
commerce,
Yes.
yeah.
Why money is round? It has to roll.
Yes.
Why money is called currency? It has to flow. So
tama,
when
tama,
there
tama,
are
tama.
movements,
Maganda.
money also roll
Rolls, yes.
and is going to multiply.
Yan ang solution.
That is the solution.
But it can't be overnight because you can't build a
Yes,
city
yes.
overnight.
Right.
But if you don't begin now, what for?
What for? We will just be dreaming and dreaming until we don't have any more to dream. It's just there.
Or it stops. The roads will stop.
It becomes afterwards a nightmare.
The roads will just stop.
The roads will stop until nobody moves anymore on the road because everything is congested.
And likewise with corruption, wala na mako-corrupt kasi lahat corrupt na.
Lahat corrupt na.
Kung lahat kayo corrupt, lahat kayo thieves, wala rin, hindi nakikita. Lahat kayo corrupt
It's the death of the society. It's like a
The
cancer.
death of commerce.
Death of commerce. When there is no more movement. That's why we have to start. If we have to start, let it roll now. Let it start now. Otherwise, should it be next year? Maybe, but it should start.
Provide purpose,
Yes.
provide direction,
Direction, discipline,
discipline towards the approach,
Yes.
the implementation.
and people with knowledge and character.
Build it and they will come.
They will come.
Yan. Di ba?
Right.
Ganon din yun, ano?
For sure.
Oo nga, no? Maganda nga, no? At least may solusyon. Kaya
There
saying,
is.
Kasi parang if you look at EDSA today, and I read all the plans, I don't hear or read any plans. Wala nangyayari.
Wala.
There is nothing. It's just, it's getting worse every day.
Getting worse.
Corruption is getting worse every day.
And
Now,
people are just fighting.
that's why we're beginning to emulate our leaders. Diba? Duterte is very naiiba if it's just his mouth.
Yeah.
I mean, yung maduming bibig sa pagmumura, pero okay sana yun, you could emulate our leader, di ba? But no one wants to walk around with that dirty mouth. I mean, I don't like to cuss.
Yes,
I don't like to curse all over
Yes,
every
that's
other
right,
word.
that's right.
I don't want to. I just don't like. I like. It doesn't
Because there are
sound
people
good.
who don't like to listen to those curse words or curse language. We don't
I
like.
extricate myself from
Yeah.
people who are always cussing every other sentence. I don't want to listen. Even movies.
Yeah.
Kasi mga American movies, F ng F ng F.
Yes,
Ang
right.
bastos ito, change channel. Ayoko. Hindi ko gusto eh.
It's
Those are my morals. Those are my values. Di ba?
yeah.
So, the solution has a lot to do with patience, direction, and
Yes.
generating a purpose.
Yes.
That's how you brought all that in. The purpose.
Yes. That's right.
If you don't start with that, the solution is not in sight.
No matter
din,
what you
umiikot,
put into the
Tama
table.
naman. Tama. Agreed. Maganda.
And everything will just be meaningless. And whatever efforts you put into it, the energy, useless.
Useless.
Why? Because we don't even know where to go,
Yeah.
the direction.
Correct.
And the only way to go to that direction is to discipline ourselves. I know I can go there. I might as well prepare for it.
There was one other thing before we came on the set. When we were discussing this before the show, all of a sudden you inserted God in our
Right.
conversation, and I was taken aback. Sabi ko, ang ganda ng timing mong ginawa mo nun. Maybe we could insert it here because the lack of the role model in our current leaders, kinukulang eh.
Yeah.
Galing sana ni Duterte, kulang naman
okay.
sa bibig.
Oo.
Okay naman sila Gordon, kung sino. Kaya lang, may stain ng corruption. Lahat sila may tama eh. Di ba, miski pa paano eh.
Right.
Wala tayong perfect politician
okay.
na we can emulate. I want to be that. That's where God comes in, correct?
Yes.
That's how you presented it to
In
me.
everything
In
that
the
we
end.
do. In the end.
Buti may God tayo kung
Or
wala.
even at the beginning. At the beginning or at the end. We should never put God at the sideline. Because God,
Siyang susundan natin.
susundan, because God is the one who gives the direction,
The example.
the example, and the purpose.
To emulate Him.
Yes, for example.
Huwag naman yung mga born again na nag-Yesu Cristo doon, mahaba ang buhok, may ilaw sa likod ng ulo niya. Di ba maraming ganun eh.
If we want to go to that end which we want to be, we must be willing to make sacrifices.
Yes. Tama.
No first world country has ever become really in that status as first world country if they and the people and the leaders do not know how to make sacrifice. First world countries offered their blood.
Yes.
They offered their lives. They went into war. They went into this, into that. In order that they will be able to clear up things. So there was a lot of sacrifice on the part. If we want to have a meaning in what we do, we must be able to reach that
Offer
end,
sacrifice.
but you offer to sacrifice. Nothing is done without sacrifice. Take the example of Christ. We were saved. He has given us direction. He has prepared us a kingdom. But how did He do that?
He offered His life.
He offered His life.
Wala
On the
siyang
cross.
mabigay at the time.
There was nothing much to give. He
Sa
was a
buhay.
poor man.
So buhay niya, binigay niya para
Okay.
sa taong bayan.
So if there is no person who is willing to give his life, his effort, his energy, his knowledge, his talent, and everything, selflessly, he will never go to that purpose which we would like to be.
Emulate God.
Emulate God
Tama nga
in the
naman.
person of Christ, who
He's
made
the perfect
sacrifice.
example.
for all
Father,
of us.
parting words. We have to end the show.
Well, thank you very much, Harry, for having me here on board. And
love having
certainly, it's very, very fruitful.
Nahihirapan ako pag ikaw ang
Dave?
guest ko. Isip ako ng isip eh. But go ahead. Sige.
I hope that those who are watching us will be able to catch or will be able to learn something about morals, about values. Remember, as I've said, a knowledgeable person without character is a dangerous person. And as a matter of fact, if I have to expand it, we try to be more specific when it comes to values for that matter. Politics without accountability is dangerous. Business without social responsibility is dangerous. Leisure or pleasure without conscience is dangerous. Knowledge without character is dangerous. Science without humanity is dangerous. And lastly, religion without sacrifice is dangerous. It is meaningless and senseless.
What else can I say with an exit speech like that? Take it as it is. I say no more. Tama si Father Jerry. Now, it's up to you. It's up to you. You're watching it. You're watching this show. what are you going to do? Maraming salamat po. Thank you very
Thank you,
much,
Harry.
Father.